now moment, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with you as always. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here. And we just ask that you bring an open mind and an open heart to your listening experience. And to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality. While listening, you will be exposed to inspiring, empowering, and unifying perspectives that I'm highly confident will yield stellar results in your life if you opt to try them on for size. Also, if you're a longtime P-Head listener, you know I have been diligently working on producing episodes for my new late-night style, consciousness-elevating video talk show, Optimistic. Well, after a year plus in the making, I am thrilled to announce that we will be releasing Season 1's episodes weekly beginning March 15th, and I'm asking for your help to spread the love and to let your friends and family know about Optimistic when it's released. In exchange for taking a minute to share our Episode 1 teaser video on March 15th, or whenever you're hearing this, up through the end of April, we're giving you monthly memberships to not one, but two consciousness-expansive online content portals from two of my very favorite teachers and healers that are valued at over $50 a month, as well as entering your name into a drawing to win a free week at the Mystic Manor for a retreat immersion valued at $2,950, where the winner will be chosen in April. Otherwise, if you're interested in hearing more details about the rewards you'll receive for supporting, we'll send you a video that goes into detail when you text the word mystic to the number 22999. You can also go to optimistic.tv to see several other videos, including the Optimistic show trailer and two videos that discuss the week-long retreat immersion, as well as details of what the Mystic Manor immersion entails and how you can book a week to come stay with us even if you don't win the raffle.
All right, all you positive heads, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining Samantha and I today. We mixed it up a little this week. It's a little backwards on you. So we're doing a Thursday. It's not Saturday. See, I don't even know what day it is, what time it is. Forget about me.
Mercury in retrograde. Nothing makes sense in the universe.
Oh, man. I'll tell you what, it's so weird. I love a Mercury retrograde. I don't know what it is about my constitution or my astrological profile because I wasn't born in Mercury retrograde, although it was close. But I love it. It like enhances me somehow. So
it's because you're a weirdo, Erica.
I am. I know. I'm the backwards one. I love it. I like being backwards. It works for me. Maybe upside down.
So good.
Oh, Samantha. So you guys, as usual, Samantha and I never plan what we're going to talk about. We pop on and we're like, what's coming up for you? And, it's always the same thing. So, so today we are going to talk about the divine feminine and how now really is this reemergence time of this beautiful power that we all have within us, whether you're male, whether you're female. But this energy is very, very powerful right now. And so we wanted to talk a little bit about it.
Mm-hmm. It's so funny how, it's just been really coming up for me. And it was something that I maybe was even going to share and talk about. And then as we get on, you're like, there's this feminine thing showing up. And this is one of the conversations I love to have. So I'm really excited. Let's go into it. What is this divine feminine, Erica? Tell us.
Well, first of all, I just want to point out that Samantha is wearing the most amazing t-shirt. And it's very synchronistic for me with what's been going on in my world lately. As you all know, if you've heard my last couple episodes, there's been an activation experience in my life and I'm starting to channel. And the shirt that Samantha is wearing is very, very, very symbolic of the energies that I am channeling. Yes, and it is a divine feminine energy. And what is this divine feminine energy? Well, unfortunately, throughout our history, this divine energy has been demonized. And history books will tell you that the goddesses of old were prostitutes and whores. And this is what is changing now. We are starting to remember, well, many of us are not just starting, but this energy is really coming back and our waters are being cleansed. And that's something our feminine waters are being cleansed of this patriarchy, of these ideas of control and putting the feminine's power down, because it is so, so powerful that to many, it can be scary.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. And something I want to say, like there's a misconception that feminine equals woman,
Right.
and that masculine equals man. You know, we have, each woman has a feminine and a masculine, and each man has a masculine and a feminine. And it's about the energy. It's about the half of the equation of the universal flow of energy. And so we're not speaking about women here. We're just speaking about the energy and the qualities of the feminine. And the qualities are the receiving, are the slowing down of the flow, the flexibility, the creativity, the allowing, the trusting, the surrendering, the receiving, like I said. And the masculine energies are more the penetrating, the doing, the achieving, like the fire, you know, like the action, the manifesting, the working hard, which if you can just think like that is the repressing of emotion, right? The logic. And if you can think of our history in science and medicine and everything that has been for the last very long time, it has been all emphasized on the masculine qualities.
Yes, everything really has. And I'm just going to bring this up. Anybody saw the Super Bowl and the halftime show? Did you see it, Samantha?
I know.
Okay. I don't watch it either. But what I did do, I was curious because every year I'm curious about what the halftime show is about, because there's always some sort of symbolic messages in there. And I always like to see what they're putting out this year. This year, I was really disappointed because what the outside looked like was like powerful, sexy, beautiful woman, especially at an older age, and like, wow, look how amazing she is. But what I really saw was like this message, unfortunately, going out there, like, look at this 50-year-old beautiful woman. This is your standard. If you can't hold up to that, you're not as good. How many women in our society hold themselves up to these pedestals that are just really unreachable for just normal people? You know, I'm not being paid millions of dollars to look amazing, right? So that's not my job. So to hold myself up to that pedestal is ridiculous, and it's going to keep me feeling less than. So that is something that we have seen in our history that has been happening to women over the ages now. And yes, it's been making this gradual comeback, but in these ways that sometimes I think can be really confusing, right? Like we look at that and we think it's good, but I look at it and I say, why are you in chains? Why are you roped? Why are you being controlled? Why are these children in cages? You know? So the idea is that our power has been basically put in a cage for so, so long. And okay, here's a big thing that came through this week that I just want to say. Women, this is just about women. The power of our orgasm is so intense and is so important to the earth, because every time we have an orgasm, that energy it shoots down, roots down into the earth. So what is that energy in that relationship when you are having that exchange? There's always an energy exchange. And if it's not based totally love-centered, all in the heart, then what we're doing is sending lower energies to the earth. And that is the last thing she needs right now. So this reclaiming of our sovereignty and our power, it's now. We have to do it now.
I like this. We just went into a
I
few
know.
different places about slowing down, about receiving, about, well, we could unpack all of these. Where do we want to go with this? Do we want to go into the energy of the feminine? Do we want to go into how it's portrayed in the oppression? Do we want to go into orgasm? Where are we going with this, Erica? I'm just going to follow you because I'm all about it. I'm in support.
I don't know. I just felt like all of that needed to be spewed really quickly.
Good. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to rant too then. Yeah. Here, let me share my rants. So I remember being a girl, being raised, being taught that it wasn't really okay to be a girl, right? It was too sensitive, too emotional, too dramatic. Having a period was gross. Growing breasts was like not okay. Or then I remember as soon as I got breasts and hips, I was now a sexual object. People, adult men would tell me that I had childbearing hips from the time I was 14, right? So every man, from my parents' friends to my teachers to my babysitters, tried to touch me or make a move on me in some kind of way. I was a sexual object. So it was like, and I was a model my whole life. So it was like, oh, I was always recognized for being beautiful and like taught that my value is in my beauty. But then, so it's like promoting the woman side, but then I'm not supposed to be soft. I'm not supposed to be feminine. I'm not supposed to be emotional. I have to work hard. I have to be the best. There were so many inputs like about beauty and the ideology of being a woman to be seen this way, but I couldn't act like a woman, or those traits that made me a woman were actually weak. And there were so many mixed messages that it was really confusing as a young girl growing into myself and really understanding how to navigate, like, what's okay, how am I supposed to be? And the conditioning was so deep. The conditioning was so deep that it literally spiraled me into this crazy mental imbalance. And then especially when I became 15 and told my doctor I was thinking about becoming sexually active, then she threw me on the birth control pill, which made me absolutely crazy. And then every man that I ever slept with was like, oh, come for me, baby. Like as if my orgasm was their trophy, which made me not ever orgasm because I didn't want them to win as this predator and me the prey.
Good girl.
So that has been my
experience.
As a young teen and young woman growing up, it was just so like, I felt just like this, like this prey, and it was very confusing. And so what I love about this movement right now with spirituality, with the feminine rising, is we're getting to redefine what it means to be a woman, what it means to be a woman to us, what kind of woman we want to be, and how we can allow that feminine energy to really rise and be in balance within us.
Absolutely. I have a very similar story with always being put down just because I was a girl and, oh, you're a girl. What do you know? And you can't do that. You're a girl.
Yep.
And so, it sets us up to feel less than. And I know in my life, I look back and I see where I have been playing second fiddle, like because of this programming that I'm not good enough. Right. But I'll tell you what, it's like this year started and it was like, nope, not anymore. Reclaim that power that is within you. It's been within you all along. You just forgot and you let somebody else tell you it wasn't there and you believe them, but it wasn't true. It's not true at all. And, another thing that this brings up for me is many of us have been priestesses, medicine women. We've held very powerful energies in our past lives. And so I think that I know in my case that in the past I've misused that power. And so there was a part of me in this life that had to balance it out and to learn how to use it wisely and to learn humility with it all. Balance was a really big thing. And so I look back on this disempowerment and I'm grateful because now I'm like, oh, I see. I can balance this. There can be this beautiful, loving balance within all of it.
Yeah, that's huge. That's something I'm really working through. Is I grew up like it was just really, I was the first child, really pushed to be this perfectionist, high achiever, top of my class, valedictorian, model, like athlete, all the things. And I just got things done. I worked so hard. I was super intense, super A-type. And now my body is screaming at me that it does not want to continue in this way. And I'm being called to navigate life in a different way, in a slower way, in a way of like receiving and tuning in and being led and surrendered and trusting and not needing to know everything. And it's so challenging for me to not want to control and dominate and penetrate and make it happen and force things to be the way that I want them to be. But it's like my body and the universe keeps meeting me with this wall of like, okay, Sam, the time of the masculine dominance in your body served you and it got you here, and it's not serving you anymore. So figure out a new way to be. And I'm just like, what do you mean? I need to slow down and chill and do nothing. I don't understand. That's not productive. And my body's like, oh, but it is, because that's what I need for you to continue. And so I will just force you to lay in bed and not let you get up until you listen to me.
And that is exactly how it works. When you need to get a message and you're not listening, your body's going to come in and smack you real hard because you have to get the message. You have to. It's not about this physical world and doing the things and being productive. It's about your spiritual involvement. So if we're too busy doing all the things, then we're not taking the time to be slow and to be patient and to be quiet and to tune in with ourselves. And that is the feminine. So yeah, I love this, Samantha. I love that you shared that because I know so many of us do that. I do that. I catch myself. I think the older I get, the less I do it, even though I still have that brain that's analytical and wants to think and do. But I know now because I do take that time to be quiet, to go with the flow. The more I have learned to go with the flow, the better life is. And it all just works out in like perfection. Things happen in perfect timing. The right people come at in the right places. All the messages come when we're in the flow. And like back to what I said about the beginning, or said in the beginning about the feminine waters, that's it. Being comfortable, or part of it, being comfortable in this flow, just relaxing into it. Yeah.
And before we continue on, I'd like to take a quick moment to announce to you guys that we have a new sponsor of the Positive Head podcast, Mac Weldon. As you guys know, I've been very selective about sponsors over the years, only working with a select few that I truly align with. So when Mac Weldon first reached out to me about sponsoring Positive Head, and I saw that they were claiming to make intelligently designed men's basics such as underwear, socks, t-shirts, sweatpants, made from premium fabrics that are also super comfy, I was intrigued. The reason being is because the running joke in my family my whole life has been that you will never see me in anything that isn't super cozy, which, if you ask my mom, has led to many, many embarrassing fancy restaurant dinners with me wearing old sweatpants. So I was intrigued enough that I ordered 4 items to try them out. And when I received them, I knew I had instantly found a new favorite go-to for my basics. My mom is going to be ecstatic to hear their claim that their Ace sweatpants are a modern upgrade for your favorite sweatpants. It's a totally legitimate claim. They are definitely way more comfy and stylish than my old ones, and I've never looked better at dinner. I intend personally to order them in every color, and of course, since they are super high quality, they do cost a little more than your Walmart standard basics. However, luckily for all UP heads, they are giving all Positive Head listeners 20% off when you go to macweldon.com and use the code POSITIVEHEAD, all one word. That's spelled MACKWELDON.com. I highly recommend trying them out or ordering them for your partner or spouse. You have my 111% guarantee that your mother or mother-in-law will thank you profusely at the next family dinner.
Yeah, it feels so true. And things that I'm thinking about are, it's been in the moments where I am more still and patient and waiting and allowing that the answers come through more clearly, because my crazy, amazing monkey mind and ego loves to just like think and go through and just like, fly through a million different potential possibilities of all the different things and all the different situations. And it can be really confusing. It can be really challenging, spiraling in the mind. And so, yeah, it's been really beautiful when you just breathe and chill and lay on the couch, and then all of a sudden the answer pops up. And the other beautiful thing that I've noticed about being more in my feminine is that the sexual polarity or the attraction that's created between myself and my partner, or men in general, is very different now, because it takes the feminine energy to attract the masculine energy. And when women are really in their masculine, it's really hard for them, or next to impossible for them, to attract a masculine man, because the polarity is not there. And so I know when I was really in my masculine, I was really attracting feminine men and partners. And that's not what I wanted. I wanted a man to be my man. If not, I'd be with a woman. And that's not what I wanted. And so it's so interesting to just notice that energy is everything. Right. And And so really tuning into the subtleties of the different energies and playing with them and seeing how they manifest and what they attract in our lives.
Totally. I love that. The energetic point is so huge. It's really important that we pay attention to what those interactions are energetically in our relationships, and really look to see, is this relationship love centered, or is it vibrating a little bit lower in a lower center? You know, is there control? Is there manipulation? Is there a power struggle? And of course, with all relationships, we're going to have a little bit of a power struggle. That's normal. I mean, is it the general overtone? You know, um, the general
Mm.
overtone should be love. If you're going to be maintaining a relationship, and especially if you're going to be having a sexual relationship. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And for the men out there, or women that know men or love men, you know, the feminine in men is really about, it's about honoring their emotions
Mm-hmm.
and allowing themselves to be received and to be held and to feel safe. And oftentimes, I'll speak from experience, I have not created a safe space for my partner to share how he feels. I took it personally. I projected my insecurities onto him. I emasculated him. And I wasn't making creating a container of safety for him to be in his feminine. And I realized that it was because I was not really in my feminine. And so, for all you ladies out there, like really creating a safe space where your partner, if it is a man, can express himself and be vulnerable and not have it all figured out and be supported and receive from you. You know, it's a really beautiful opportunity to create that balance and that comfort and the equilibrium for men as well, because men have been extremely suppressed in the feminine area, and it's caused major issues for individuals, for families, for children, you know, and there's a lot of trauma that men carry, and we really have an opportunity to start rewriting those stories and healing that energy.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you brought that up because it is our responsibility as women in a relationship to hold our men in that way. That is what the goddess does. And so when we can support each other, this two-way street, oh, it's so beautiful. So yeah, and it's because we women, we do that. We expect our men to like be a man, stand up and be strong. But no, we need to allow them to be weak, because that feminine side is really important, that we help them strengthen, and vice versa. You know, this all works both ways. So
And I have to say, I don't love the word weak, because
right,
vulnerable isn't necessarily weak, right? It's just
right,
like allowing themselves, yeah, to be open, to be
yeah,
vulnerable. And another thing, that the other opposite is where I would get mad at my partner for not being more open. It's like,
mm.
why don't you tell me anything? Why don't you share your feelings? Why did it? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, again, I'm not allowing that space to happen. And so it's like really being mindful. If you want something in your partner, you want to see a different side, you want to feel closeness. It's like, how are we being in that energy to create a situation or an opening for that energy to come through?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Thank you, Samantha. This was a lovely conversation as usual. I think
Mm.
on that note, we will end it and we will play a song. This is Xavier Rudd, Follow the Sun. Until next time, love you all.
Love you.
And if you're feeling the call to come for a week retreat style Mystic Manor immersion, remember to go now and book your time to speak with me directly about stepping into the optimistic vortex at calendly.com/talk with Brandon while there are still spots left. Otherwise, I look forward to co-creating magic with you at the Mystic Manor.
follow the sun, and which way the wind blows when this day is done. Breathe in the air, set your intentions, dream with care. Tomorrow's a new day for everyone, a brand new moon and brand new sun. So follow the sun, the direction of the birds, the direction of love. Breathe in the air, cherish this moment, cherish this breath. Tomorrow's a new day for everyone, a brand new moon, brand new sun. When you feel life coming down on you like a heavy weight, when you feel this crazy society adding to the strain, take a stroll to the nearest water's edge. Remember your place. Many moons have risen and fallen long before you came. So which way is the wind blowing? And what does your heart say? So follow the sun, and which way the wind blows when this day is done.